Good morning. Welcome back to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. All right, we're talking about 18 scary retirement statistics and how we're going to also get into, of course, we don't want to just know what the scary things are. How do we deal with these scary things? So let's talk about another one, healthcare costs. I've talked about this before. There's been a lot of research on this, a lot of studies. I mentioned that with Medicare, we've talked about, for instance, the out-of-pocket costs that you're going to deal with. You've got Medicare Part B. There's a premium attached to that. Part A, there's no premium, but you have deductibles and co-insurance. Part B, you pay a premium, plus you have deductibles and co-insurance. Part D, your prescription coverage, you pay a premium, and yes, plus we still have deductibles and co-insurance. All right, then you would have the cost of a Medicare supplement plan. So if you go with original Medicare, which I just outlined for you, to cover those deductibles and co-insurance, right, you're going to need a Medicare supplement or Medicare or Medigap plan, they're called. These are insurance policies that you can purchase to help cover these out-of-pocket costs. So there's another expense because there's a premium, of course, for that. And depending on which one of the plans you choose, and in your particular situation and where you live, there's a lot of different variables as to just how expensive that could be. And guess what? You're still going to have deductibles and co-insurance, prescription costs, and the like. Here's what the numbers show us, all right? The average for retirees out-of-pocket medical costs, healthcare costs in retirement, $130,000, okay? Well, when you add up all those premiums, when you add up all those deductibles and co-insurance and prescription costs and rising healthcare costs, that's the rising healthcare use as we get older, of course. All of that adds up, and the average is about $135,000 for women, $125,000 for men. And of course, the difference being that women live longer, so they're going to have a little more out-of-pocket costs. Planning for those costs, and there are a number of ways to do that. And keeping in mind, by the way, this doesn't even count long-term care. This has nothing, this doesn't take care of home health care potentially, or assisted living, or God forbid, nursing home. It has nothing to do with those. So there could be another potential out-of-pocket if you have need of Medicare insurance, of nursing home insurance. One of the things, long-term care insurance, one of the things that I get into with clients is we do an assessment with new clients about the need for long-term care insurance. Are you going to need that long-term care insurance? And for many, I find that there are ways that we can cover that without having to pay the premiums for long-term care. And there are products out there today that also can be, for some, beneficial with regard to long-term care riders that can help cover that cost without requiring the out-of-pocket premiums that you have with traditional policies. Also, the way that this comes into Social Security, importance of how you do your claiming strategies with Social Security, and also annuities can be a big help here as well. These are all ways that we can increase your income through your lifetime, give you guaranteed income, maybe even for life, and maximize it to help cover the potential costs later. So these are some strategies that we look at and can implement. All right, here's another one. When it comes to healthcare expenses, a recent study by Edward Jones found that 2/3 of Americans are concerned about how they're going to pay for healthcare costs in retirement. In fact, about 70% of baby boomers, which makes sense since baby boomers now are retiring at about $10,000 per day. Many retirees, and this was a disturbing one we talked about last week, I'm just recapping quickly, $15,000, right? That was the number. Just a $15,000 major healthcare expense could mean financial ruin for many people, many retirees. And this part of it is just, again, because of the lack of planning and the ways to cover these expenses. And of course, the other part is saving and having your money working as hard for you and protecting it for you during retirement. All right, these are some of the things we covered last week. So we're going to move ahead. Number 9, women do not, this is the other thing. When it comes to Social Security, it's so important, once you make that decision, okay, and you decide whether you're claiming at age 62, which is the earliest age you can claim for Social Security, or whether you wait, say, to 65 when you qualify for Medicare, and then you take, or now if you're going to continue working, you definitely want to wait until at least your full retirement age, and depending on your age today, that could be anywhere from age 66 to 67. Because if you're working and you're taking Social Security before that time, then you could lose some of those Social Security. They could take those benefits back for every, I think it's 16,000 now is the cap. per year on earnings. For every dollar or $2, excuse me, over that, they take back $1 in benefits. So if you made $30,000, all right, there goes $15,000 in benefits. That it's not worth doing it. You just delay taking those benefits. And of course, the longer you delay taking Social Security, the bigger the amount that you will receive. Okay, so at age 66 to 67, if that's your full retirement age, if you delay, we have what are called like delayed retirement credits up to age 70. So you could see an 8% increase per year in the amount of money you would receive from Social Security. That's a pretty big deal. To put it in perspective, if you were going to get $30,000 a year at your full retirement age, then if you wait till 70, you would get $40,000 a year instead. Huge difference. And again, you look at your own personal situation and making these determinations. What's, your own health? How about as far as your parents, how long did they live? Siblings, that kind of thing. You take all of this into consideration. One of the things I do when I do Social Security analysis is we take a look, if you take it 62 or at full retirement age or at age 70, how long, at what point would it be a break-even point? At what point would it not, would it be about the same? And it usually comes in somewhere in your late 70s to early 80s, all right? So depending on your situation, for many, if it looks like you're and people are living longer and longer, which fortunately with our healthcare system, that's one of the good things about it, all right? But with that, living longer, then we want our money to last longer, and that's where maybe delaying Social Security is going to benefit those that expect to live well into their 80s in particular. This was another statistic. All right, here's where we're picking up where we left off. On this one, this was half of Americans, all right, number 10, half of Americans are afraid they will outlive their money. Now, this was a recent study that was done through Fifth Third Private Bank, and it found basically that nearly half of those surveyed had serious concerns about outliving their money. And much of the anxiety stems from a lack of articulated financial goals and alignment around them. In other words, what? A lack of planning. How do you know if you're going to, one of the big reasons people worry about outliving their money is because they don't know, right? Maybe you're investing and you're taking more risk trying to get bigger returns because you're so afraid of running out of money, and in taking that, investing in a riskier fashion, the very thing you're concerned about is what you in fact could create. So in having a plan that this, if I do these things, this is where it leads, that's what we do with planning, okay? So again, I'm going to offer it up for the first 10 callers to my office at 615-376-5325. I can show you those things, okay? So what we're going to cover today to show you the statistics, and I'll try to help you with, just as I had talked about with the steps. One of the things there, though, is if you can sit down with someone that can do the work, if you don't know how to do this, then get with someone that can show you how it works. And this is what we do. For the first 10 callers, free retirement income analysis is a comprehensive financial plan. I can show you your financial future, okay, at no charge for the first 10 callers. To my office, 615-376, there's the number on your screen, 5325, 615-376-5325. Debbie's standing by. She'll get your information. She'll send you out a little checklist. She'll get you scheduled so that when you come in, I can show you and help you so that you don't have to be one of those people worried about running out of money. I'm going to be able to help you put together a plan that'll never happen to you. All right? All right, so the study confirmed this anxiety, much of the anxiety from lack of planning. The survey revealed that several stressors contribute to the anxiety, all right? One, all right, I'm going to get into statistics here, so bear with me. 43% feel managing their finances has gotten more complex over the past 5 years. That's one of the things we run into, right? There are a lot of moving pieces when you think about it, right? We got taxes, estate planning. We're talking about your investments, Social Security, Medicare, those healthcare costs. There are so many different pieces that come into play and so many different rules and regulations that you have to deal with, not to mention trying to figure out how to invest in the best way to get the most out of your money without having to worry about losing your money, right? Or getting into a position where you have less money 10 years from now than what you started with. Well, these are some of the things. We're going to get into some more, but first we got to take another break. All right, so join me here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back here on the Retirement Report.